Hello everyone, in today's video I'll show you how to crochet this tank top and I hope you will enjoy it. If you do, don't forget to hit subscribe, like this video, and let's get into it. And to make this top you will need 200 grams of double knit yarn. I have Hayfold bonus one here and it's 100% acrylic. Then you will need a 4mm hook, needle, and scissors. Now to start off with the front panel of the top, you want to make a slip knot. Put your hook in and tighten it up. And now we'll chain 26, but you can chain any length you want for your ribbing to be. To do a chain, you yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook. And this is how my chain looks like, and that's the length that my ribbing for the top will be. But yeah, once you have yours, you want to skip the very first and go into the second one with a single crochet, just like this. To do a single, you go into your chain, yarn over and come back, yarn over and pull through both. And this is what you will need to repeat till the end of your row. At the end of the row, chain 1 and turn your work. I have 25 single crochets and this is what it will stay for the ribbing part. But now for row 2, you want to go into the back loop only. So where you see these two loops, that's your normal stitch. There is this front loop and then back loop. So you want to go into the back loop and do your single crochets. So I'm again gonna do 25 single crochets into the back loop only till I'm at the end of my row. At the end of your second row, you want to chain 1, turn your work, and from now on you will be repeating row 2 as many times as you need until this ribbing becomes long enough to be half your waist, as we are making front panel only. So after you chained and turned, you will again be going into the back loops like so and make single crochets for as many rounds as you need. So I'm gonna finish mine and then I'll meet you at the end. And this is how my ribbing looks like. So I did 52 rows in total and it is pretty stretchy because it is ribbing rows. But yeah, you want to make sure that two pieces like these will fit your waist. But yeah, once you've got your rows done and you know it will fit, count your rows. It's again 52 for me. That means I will be placing 52 stitches along this edge. And it's 1 stitch for each row. So I'm gonna go in and do 52 single crochets, just basically going into the side here. If it helps at all, this is your 1 row and this is your second. This one has a bigger hole while this one has a tiny smaller one here, but that's 1 stitch and your second, and then it again repeats. This big hole and this smaller one, again big hole, smaller one, and so on. But you can also just count stitches at the end when you do complete the row. And if it is by chance not 52 or not the same as your number of rows, don't worry, just make sure that it will fit you. At the end of your first row, chain 1, turn your work, and you will now be repeating those single crochets again as many times as you need, just by going into the 2 loops to do those rows, as it's not ribbed anymore and it will be flat for the main part. But yeah, go in, make the same number of stitches you had and build on those rows until it's long enough for you. So I'm gonna do mine. I will meet you then at the end. And this is how my front panel looks like. So I have my ribbing rows here, and for the single crochet rows I did 34 in total. I have chained 1, so I'm gonna just pull through my yarn and leave it as it is for now. And basically it's a bit easier now to explain the rows, but I did slightly more rows than I would actually need to cover up my chest, but this is because we will be folding these into layers, one on top of each other, to shape into this form basically. And just before you finish off with these rows, you want to kind of grab these rows, try to fold them, and this obviously will be different for everyone because of different sizes, but I did put this against myself to see if that would fit, and it does. But yeah, if you by any chance need more rows or need more layers to kind of shape your own size, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't have much of that, but yeah, if you need more allowance, feel free to make more rows. This is what works for me. And before going into the back panel, you want to decide how you will be folding those rows, because as you can see, by doing this, our rows get turned to the side, so you won't be able to kind of join this with the back panel. So that means that your back panel will have less rows, and it will be joined pretty much up until here for me. And that is about 16 rows, but yeah, I will show this later on. But yeah, I'm just gonna shape that on. Find the middle of my row as well, so you want to count the stitches to find the middle. Then grab yourself some yarn with needle, and you will need to sew these together. So I'm just gonna go from the wrong side, pull it through, leaving the tail on the wrong side, just like this, and basically go in through all these layers. If you need safety pins or stitch markers to place this, you can do that. It would be a bit easier to sew it together. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just going through all these at once. And I will be doing this at least a few times to make sure that it's secure. You can also go through 2 layers at a time, like so, and then join the other 2. But yeah, I hope this makes sense. What you are initially doing is just sewing these together. Once you're done, you want to feed that tail through the wrong side. Make sure that it is in place, and we will need to hide these tails in. So have your work wrong side up, and with that same needle that you just sewed, go in under the stitches on your wrong side and hide those tails in. Make sure you go at least few ways. So I'm going one way, then back the other, just to make sure that it doesn't come out undone. Just like so. Then do the same with your other tail. Put it off, and this is how it will look. Now you want to hide this tail as well as this initial one here. And like I said, once you have finished joining these layers together, you kind of want to see how many of those rows are being pushed to the side. It's not straight anymore, as you can see. This is the point for me, because I can see that this, up until this round, it's still straight, so that I will be able to kind of sew my back panel to this side and it will still fit, but you won't be able to kind of join like so, as it would misshape this part. So yeah, your back panel will be shorter. Just see how many rows you need to do and repeat that as well. So I'm going to repeat my ribbing. I will be doing 16 rows in total for the single crochet, and then I will meet you on how to join it together. And I just finished my back panel as well. It is the same ribbing as for the front, but I did only 16 rows. I have finished with the longer tail for sewing, and now you want to grab your front panel, lay them right sides in so that you have wrong sides on the outside. Then you want to align these together, so count the same amount of rows for the front as you have for the back and sew it together. I like to go from one side to the other just like so. And when you do come for the ribbing, also make sure that it's aligned and sew it together. You could also do a slip stitches if you prefer that over sewing. And once you are done, you will need to hide this tail in. So on the wrong side, as always, just go under some stitches one way and then back the other. Cut it off. And you will then need to repeat the same on the other side, so sew these together. And once you're done sewing both sides, this is how it will look. You want to pull it right side out as we will begin working on the straps. It will be worked using Tunisian crochet stitches, and what I will be doing for my straps is 6 stitches from the very edge here. So I'm just gonna count 6 stitches and put my hook in, grab the yarn and pull up a loop. Then you want to pull up the loop in the rest of the stitches just like so. And I will be having 6 of them, but if you do choose to do any other length, that's fine. Just pull up a loop in all stitches that you want. Then you want to yarn over and pull through one only. And now for the rest of them, you will be pulling through 2. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and so on till the very end. And don't worry if this last loop is a bit loose, we will secure it at the end by hiding the tail in. But yeah, once you're done pulling through, you should be able to see those vertical bars. So this one, this one, this one, and so on. So go in behind that vertical bar and pull up a loop. Repeat this till the end. And the very last one, just like so. Again, it's 6 loops for me. Then you yarn over, pull through 1 at the very beginning, and for the rest of them, pull through 2 till the end. Then again, for your next row, you will pull up a loop behind the first, second, third, and so on. Again, I have 6 loops on my hook, then yarn over, pull through 1, and pull through 2 till the end. This is how it looks so far, and the reason why I'm doing Tunisian crochet is because this strap will be so much sturdier than if I went with single crochet. You could already tell it doesn't have any stretchiness to it, while these single crochets are quite stretchy, so that's the reason why I'm doing this. I hope this helps and it is clear enough, but just to show you one more time, you should be able to see these bars there. So the very first one doesn't count as we already have a loop for it. So yeah, you have one loop on your hook and you go into the second bar here, go behind it and pull up a loop, then do the same with the next one, and so on till the very end. And you always should have the same number of loops on your hook, and it's 6 for me. This is how it looks. For the first stitch, you pull through 1 loop, and then for the remaining, always pull through 2. And this is how it will look. Now you want to build on those rows until this strap is long enough for you, so you most likely will need to put it on and see what length fits your top. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue with these rows and then I will meet you at the end on how to join it on the other side. And I am now happy with how long my strap is. I did 42 rows, so I went one way and then back the other 42 times. I'm now at the end, and just because this last row is a bit holy when you finish it, I'm just gonna go into those loops and I will be doing single crochets. So I will single crochet 6 in total just to finish that off. And my very last one, this is how it will look. And the reason I'm doing those single crochets is because it is a bit holy when you do finish off on this side. I'm gonna cut it off, leaving a bit of a tail. I will chain 1 and pull it through. Then you will need to sew it on the back side, and I'm gonna leave 10 stitches from this seam here. So that's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10, and I will join with the 6 after skipping those 10. Just gonna put my hook to mark that, and you would need to put that top on yourself to see where your strap should sit on, but I will be leaving 10 stitches. Now you want to fold them right sides in and sew it together. And this is how it will look. Now you want to hide the tail in. And repeat the same for your other strap as well. And by the way, I forgot to mention, but this is a Tunisian simple crochet stitch, if that helps at all. But yeah, with Tunisian crochet, it tends to curl a bit, so I would highly suggest to block it out so it does stay flat. But yeah, once you got your second handle, you will need to repeat the second handle, and that is pretty much it. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to hit subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you in my next one.